Dark and Darker went free to play not so long ago, and I remember how difficult it was and confusing when I first started playing the game. So, to help all you fresh players, we're going to cover a bunch of helpful info to make sure you're going into the dungeon prepared. In this video, we're looking through a bunch of tips and tricks that any beginner in Dark and Darker needs to know about. A bunch of my friends just started playing Dark and Darker, so I asked them, what did they wish they had known when they first started playing? And these are some of the best suggestions I heard from them. Make sure to like the video so new players just like you can find these helpful tips when they're first starting out in the game. Subscribe for more helpful Dark and Darker guides, gameplay, and tips and tricks. Many new players jump right into the dungeons without realizing they can actually customize their starting weapons, armor, and utility items. This means we can choose just about anything that our class can use as starting equipment. To do this, we head over to the Merchants tab and we click on the Squire. From here, we click on the Base Gear tab on the left, and then we click on any gear slot in the middle that we want to remove. Then we simply select one of the items from our list over here, we add it to our options, then set base gear, then equip base gear. As you complete quests for the various NPCs, you will begin to unlock better quality starting gear as well. A starting selection looks more like this. To complete a quest, you must first accept it from the NPC quest giver. But there is a faster method. It's to go to the Play tab and go down here to the quest log in the bottom right of the screen. This allows you to accept and hand in all your quests with every NPC. You can open up this quest log during the game by pressing L. As you fight your way through the dungeons, you will lose some health and need to restore your missing spell charges. To do both of these tasks at once, you can sit down to regain a small amount of recoverable health and spells every few moments. The recoverable health is the faded red health portion of the missing health points. You can use a campfire to heal the other health and restore your health faster. You can also restore the other health missing through a potion. Bandages work the same as sitting on the floor. Bandages only restore recoverable health. As you're first starting out, you're gonna take a lot of damage. I recommend once you have made it out with a bit of money at least, make sure to buy 6 potions, 6 bandages, and 1 campfire to bring into every dungeon. You should always be on full health in Dark and Darker, so bring enough healing that you can guarantee that comfortably. The last thing you want is for another player to attack you while you're missing health, because you can be certain that they will be attacking with full health. You can buy bandages at the surgeon and potions at the alchemist. After you have made it out of a handful of dungeons, you might start to notice that your storage is becoming rather full. To help combat this problem, you can visit the treasurer who sells gold coin purses that store 50 gold coins in them. Through questing, crafting, and looting, you are able to get containers that hold 1,000 or even 10,000 coins. For now, the gold coin purses will be perfect. If you see these little spider mummies crawling around the dungeon floor, don't engage directly with the spiders if you don't have to. Almost all spider mummies are spawned infinitely from a spider pot. Each spider pot can create up to 3 mummies at a time. To prevent the mummies from respawning, you will need to destroy the pot by hitting it with any weapon or a projectile. Some pots can take more than 1 hit to destroy. Every stat in Dark and Darker has a purpose. Some stats better favor certain classes or certain playstyles. To get an idea about what stats do what, you can look at your character stat list and mouse over your main attributes to better understand what they are and how they affect your character. Whenever you play Dark and Darker, you need to turn your sound up and make sure you're paying close attention to whatever you hear. I wouldn't recommend you play Dark and Darker while listening to music or a podcast. If you don't hear a player readying themselves to fight you or sneaking up behind you, you're quite often going to lose your hard-earned gear. The power of surprise can be used by more than just rogues. Holding shift or crouch can help lower the sounds of your footsteps, and turning off the torches in an area can keep you hidden within the shadows. Just be wary. If you're staging an ambush in the shadows, be sure to unequip all your potions as they glow in the dark on your hip when they're equipped. If you're in a hurry and you need to equip your gear quickly or move it from one container to another, the last thing you want to do is spend precious moments dragging an item from one area to another. Instead, try right-clicking on them. This will immediately move it from one container to another, or equip and unequip your items. You can quickly drop something by holding shift and right-clicking on it. Once you have filled up your inventory, you will want to try and find a way to escape the dungeon. Various types of escapes can be found all throughout each of the dungeons. Pay close attention to the minimap while you're adventuring. Any blue-colored symbol refers to an escape of some type, such as a trio of portals, the escape ropes, the stairs, the elevators, or the rafts. It's important to note that not all of these escape routes function in the same way. The exits become available for use at various points throughout the game. The elevators in the center of the Goblin Caves, for example, will arrive at set times and carry all the players on it out of the dungeon. The rafts in the Ice Caves function in the same way. These are the only exits that are guaranteed at certain times. The following exits will show up at random periods across the game. Escape ropes will drop down for use by a single player. Be aware they take a little while to carry you out, and you're still vulnerable to damage while you're climbing the rope out of the dungeon. Each portal in the trio must still first be activated before a player can instantly step through it to escape. The gates to their respective stairs on each map will open and show a clear path through them for a single player to escape. If the stairs are blocked by rocks, or the gates are open but the torches aren't lit on either side, then someone has already used those stairs to leave. It can be difficult to tell if the other exits have already been taken. So for example, if you have a few minutes left and the escape rope isn't dropping down, it can be wise to start searching for another exit in case someone has already used the one you're waiting for. One last thing to be careful of is the red stairs. A red stairway denotes a pathway that leads down to a more difficult layer of the dungeon. Only enter this way if you're ready for a massive challenge, or if you have no other option. The dungeons can be massively confusing. To help combat this, the amazing people that run the wiki have created an interactive map that documents the current dungeon layouts that are in rotation. Check the link in the description if you want to have a look through it to help familiarize yourself with the various dungeons and the enemies that inhabit them. Something to be aware of is that some classes are much easier to kill than others. The wizard or the rogue, for example, have extremely low health and physical armor compared to most other classes. So I would recommend you don't start on these particular classes, as it can be difficult to survive when sometimes a single crossbow bolt to the head is all it takes to kill you. It's better to learn the game on a strong tanky class like fighter or barbarian, so you have more room to take a few hits to the head and still live to tell the tale. Once you start to build up an extensive inventory filled to the brim with the finest of loot, you might find yourself becoming a bit nervous to enter into the dungeons with your best of stuff. Or if you see another player, you might be a bit stressed when fighting them because you're afraid to lose your gear. Gear fear is a real problem, and one of the best ways to overcome it is going 0 to hero. Just start off in the dungeon with nothing and keep going back in with whatever you find. If you keep doing this, wearing that great gear will start to become the normal, and it won't be so stressful. Keeping a clear and level head is the key to success in a game like Dark and Darker. Dark and Darker at times can be a test of your willpower or your mental fortitude. It can be very stressful or aggravating, and the key to performing at your best is to remain calm and focusing on the game without letting the tensions build. It's similar to a game like Dark Souls in that sense. You must achieve your Zen state. Find peace in your mind to overcome the tough challenges that are before you. Knowing when to take a fight with another player is just as important as knowing how to fight that other player. It's very important to make sure you're healed up to full health, as a few headshots can be all it takes to end your life. Before you fight your opponent, make sure to use protection potions to give you that extra edge in the fight. Take fights often when you're first starting out, especially if you don't have any gear. It's a great way to learn how to engage against other players. The more experience you get, the better you will be once you're running around in legendary gear. Dark and Darker player versus player combat can be like a game of rock, paper, scissors. This doesn't mean it's impossible to beat scissors if you're paper, it just means that you should be aware of the challenge that's in front of you. So it's good to get some first-hand experience so you can understand which classes you fight best against and which classes you're going to struggle against. It's important to know which treasures are worth taking and which to leave behind. Treasure is almost always more valuable than any gear of the same tier. If you find gear of a higher tier than your treasure, it might be more valuable. Generally speaking, single slot treasure items are worth the most, with gemstones being right at the top of that tier list. You want to aim to fill your inventory with single slot treasures to maximize your gold. I have also included a link in the description to a chart that conveys the exact worth of all of the different treasure items. Once you have made it back to the tavern after your adventure, you can sell your treasure to the collector, while all the other items you have can be sold directly to the other merchants, except the goblin. All the merchants will pay the same price for all your gear. Dark and Darker has some exceptional challenges within it that can feel very rewarding to overcome. Challenge yourself to fight all of the scary monsters you find within the dungeon and learn to beat them. You can beat bosses like the Troll or the Cyclops without any gear, or take on the other bosses you find with just the things you pick up during your adventure. Fighting them will help you become better at the game and allow you to access some of the best loot in the game. Dark and Darker content is broken up into seasons. Every so often, the developers will wipe all of the loot, reset every character to level 1, and start with a fresh roster of quests. So don't become too sentimental over your gear, it all disappears eventually anyway. So go ham, buy that crazy loot set, and lose it all to some lurking player in the shadows. The one thing that stays with you is the skills that you have developed while you're playing the game, and every time you have to start over again, you end up filling up your storage even quicker than last time. Thanks for watching the video. If there's any aspects of Dark and Darker that you would like me to focus on, make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what you want me to make a video on next. I'll see you in the next one.